Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Man, y'all already know what time it is. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in for episode 221. Wow, that's a lot of episodes, man. And thank y'all for rocking with me. As always, every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Shout out to the day ones already in the building. Shout out to the chat. We got badge holders in them chats. It's love in them chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in, man. If this your first time tuning and tapping in, we talk about everything here, whether it's sports, entertainment, social commentary, things that's going on, that's viral moments and everything like that. So we talk about that here on this podcast. We have a good time doing it too. We're respectful, we're critical. You know what I'm saying? It's never just one thing on the show, but we love the chat and stay engaged into the chat. We appreciate it. It does help with the growth of the show. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. That do help with the growth of the show. Shout out to the chat. We got the chat deep in the building. Shout out to Shay in the building. She going crazy in the chat. Comment Buster, you crazy. Uh, I'm here all night. Got $1 jokes. Shout out to Shay. Shout out to King P in the building. We in here tough. We locked in. Shout out to Winter. I missed the first and second comment. Y'all kill me with the comments. Shout out to Ebony. Just made it. Shout out to Culture. What's poppin', my brothers and sisters. Shout out to Hazel. Hey, Chat and Ash. Shout out to Treeman. Europe. Brooklyn all day. Shout out to King P again, Brooklyn. We are everywhere. We need a better team in Brooklyn. Yo, chill. Don't get on my nets. Don't kill my nets. Shout out to Rowan Jack, one of our day ones. One of our other day ones in the building, and Big Badge Holder in the building. I'm going to break you in Ash. Pause. Appreciate my dog Rowan Jack in the building. And we got Paul, one of our other day ones in the building. Appreciate Paul for tapping in. Again, y'all, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show if you have already. Appreciate y'all as always. I hope y'all ready to have a good time. There's a lot of stuff going on today. Hey man, stop texting me. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and we're gonna cover all of that today, or we're gonna try to. There's a lot that happened, so with no further ado, let's get the show started. I hope y'all had a great day. I hope y'all been having a great week, whether it's been challenging or easy or hard. Yo, it's time to let loose, get a change in mindset, time to pivot, and hey, man, there's something in my face this whole time and pivot, and let's have a great time. All right, y'all. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure. If you haven't gone to Button Snaps already, go to Button Snaps. Well, button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. You get some fire movies for $4.99 a month. Also, want to thank uh, also want to thank OUV Records, as y'all see right here. Make sure y'all go to Instagram and tap into OUV Records. All right, with no further ado, let's get the show started. Again, don't be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Don't try to stand out for being negative. Stand out for being something positive. Only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We only celebrate life culture over here. Hate has a destination, but it's just not here. All right, first segment of the night is popular opinions. And again, this segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Again, go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. Quick shout out, man. Big shout out big shout out to Rowan Jack. He just gifted 5 people in the chat, man. Appreciate that for the gifteds, man. Again, we getting bigger and bigger as a show, and Again, our supporters such as Rowan Jack, one of our biggest supporters of the show throughout its history. Man, thank you again for putting on and showing major love to the pod, man. Appreciate that, my brother. Damn. So shout out to Leaf, Matrix, O, Patrick, Torres, and Solo just got some gifteds, man. So shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all send Rowan Jack some thank yous for those gifteds as well. Appreciate you again, Rowan Jack. You're a real one for that. Shout out to, who's that? Larice in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to Larice. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Brazil is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I always like saying it like Brazil. It sound exotic. You know what I'm saying? That's the only place I haven't been to yet that I really want to visit is Brazil. Everywhere else that I ever went to see, I went there. I want to see Brazil. I want to see what that's hitting for. You know what I'm saying? Look like a good time. All right, y'all. Let's get this cracking. First segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all. Favorite singer from the 80s on this list. Favorite singer from the 80s on this list. Not the list over on the other side. On this list. Number 1, I'll Be Sure. Number 2, Bobby Brown. Number 3, Freddie Jackson. Number 4, Babyface. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, your favorite 80s singer on this list. Your favorite 80s singer on this list. Number 1, I'll Be Sure. Number 2, Bobby Brown. Number 3, Freddie Jackson. Number 4, Babyface. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Already, I'm seeing Bobby Brown in the chat. I'm seeing the king of R&B in the chat. That's what I'm seeing in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm seeing in the chat. Ashley, you choosing violence straight out the gate. Oh, I'm choosing violence. So asking who's your favorite singer. That's changed it. That's violence now. Oh, good list. Freddie or Babyface. So I'm seeing a lot of support for it's actually kind of like a mixed bag, to be honest with you. This is a very top tier group. I'll Be Sure, if y'all don't know, look up his music. I'll Be Sure got fire music. He was popping back in the 80s, early 90s. Bobby Brown, he was once considered the king of R&B at one particular point in time. Like he was hotter than fish grease. I remember in the late 80s, he was hotter than fish grease. I was a little kid, but he was still hotter than fish grease. Freddie Jackson just had them bops though. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Jackson had you right. I ain't gonna hold you. Freddie Jackson didn't have as many hits as Bobby Brown or I'll Be Sure. But the hits that he had, these were like nuclear lover boy bombs. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by lover boy, you like, you know what I'm saying? Like you loving on your woman. That's what I mean by lover boy. You loving on your woman, and you know what I'm saying? Gonna make her feel real good, real sexy, real. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get them draws. You know what I'm saying? But it's a sexy situation. You know what I'm saying? Babyface had a way of just doing the same thing, but just in his type of swag and style. So I'm seeing a mixed bag, to be honest with you. There's no wrong answer for this because these are a whole bunch of legends on here. So shout out to Tom in the building, my dog Tom in the building, Ashley in the chat, family, respect and blessings. Stay consistent and healthy. Appreciate that from me to you. Shout out to Tom, man. Thank you for the love as always. And don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. So again, I'm seeing a mixed bag. I'm seeing love for Freddie Jackson. I saw love for Babyface. Definitely Bobby Brown. Me, if I had to make it, my choice in particular. Yo, Bobby got the bops, dog. Like Bobby got the lover boy joints. He got the I'ma make you feel good, but he got the I'ma sex you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of like I'ma sex you up. Like I'm letting you know through the door, your drawers hitting the floor, and we about to get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what we doing? So I appreciate Freddie because Freddie gonna romance them drawers off you. You know what I'm saying? Babyface gonna romance you, but he gonna buy you a house, he gonna buy you a car, he gonna pay your rent, he gonna cook your dinner too. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he get home, as soon as he get off of work. But I'm gonna say Bobby. I'm going with Bobby Brown, and you know what I'm saying. I'm going with Bobby. The chat, like y'all laughing at me. The chat is a mixed bag. You know what I'm saying. But the rest of the world at 44%, mind y'all, over 83,000 people voted on this. Went with Bobby Brown. They want Bobby Brown, the king of R&B. What he? Well, I mean, he's not the king of R&B, but he's one of the kings. You know what I'm saying? He was considered the king of R&B when they said it. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider Michael Jackson the king of R&B because he's pop. He's the king of pop. You feel me? But we all know who the king of R&B is. You know what I'm saying? It starts with the R. It's always with the R. You know who I'm talking about. I know he got his situations, but it starts with the R. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no debating that. But I respect Bobby Brown because when he was doing this thing, he was doing this thing when he was doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Shout out to the chat. I'm biased, so it's Bobby Brown. For me, straight up, Orchard Park Projects. Let's go. Okay. Shout out to Orchard Park. Freddie Jackson, you are my lady. Yo, you are my lady. For those who don't know, it, if you're looking for a sexy situation and you just want to let the music play and you don't want to come off aggressive, like because Kels do come off aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But Freddie Jackson music just have a way of just romancing the draws off the thing. You know what I'm saying? Just real tenderloin. You know what I mean? Just let that play and just have a good time. Just what I'm saying? Let Freddie work. It's a cheat code. That's a fact. That is a fact. Is there if there's no Bobby Brown, you have no R. Kelly, you have no Jodeci, you have no Cisco, you have the list goes on. Bobby was the first brother on stage with no shirt on, grinding on the stage. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. The reason why we call him the king of R&B, not because people say he was the king of R&B. Let's keep this a buck. If we're going to be truth tellers, let's keep this a buck. People consider him the king of R&B because Whitney said he was the king of R&B. Before that, ain't nobody ever said that. Ain't nobody, because the true unadmitted R&B king before R. Kelly for real or Bobby Brown for real is Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Pendergrass used to have concerts, ladies only. Ladies only up in this mug. All I want to see is soft legs up in here. Ladies only. And he will come out with the little fishnet, you know what I'm saying? The little fishnet choke t-shirt, see-through joint. Ladies going crazy. Ladies going crazy. Looking at them, doing all types, blowing them kisses and all that, handing them flowers and all that. So it's really Teddy P if we're going to keep it a buck. If we're going to be truth tellers, it's Teddy P. So if it wasn't no Teddy P, then, Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bobby Brown. Yo, I'm giving Bobby his props. Bobby had bangers. But Kels is Kels, though. Like, we can't argue Kels is Kels. Like, it's the R. Like, what we talking about? You feel me? Hey, yo, bro. I don't know why you blocked my number. I invited you for the party. Free Diddy. Yeah, I don't know if you being honest or you telling jokes. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was a joke that, you know what I'm saying, to the party. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the parties. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the parties. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. Facts, 300% Ashley, because Bobby would get the ladies. I didn't even know he was messing with Janet until the TV movie came on BT. Now that's a fact. I don't think most people knew that Bobby Brown and Janet Jackson had a thing going on, and she tried to act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we know you got a little freak in you. Come on, Janet. I know you trying to preserve the good girl image, but we know. You know what I'm saying? We know he got them draws. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's Bobby. It's cool. Free Diddy, in the words of Dora the Explorer, Diddy no Diddy. Shout out to Rowan Jack. R. Kelly is the king of R&B. There's no question about that. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? The proof is in the pudding. But you still have other R&B artists. If you was to say, yo, they the king or they deserve king status, I'm not going back and forth. Bobby Brown is one of those artists. I'm not going back and forth about R&B on the nitpick, Teddy Pendergrass, Usher. You know what I'm saying? Like they all, you know what I'm saying, can hold courts. They in the Lord's township of the R&B game and holding it down for absolute facts. I'm sorry, Usher got me through such a heartbreak one time. I was going through it in high school, and it was something about, like, I ain't gonna hold you. You remember the song "You Got It Bad"? Like that was my heartbreak song in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like got my heart broken. You know what I'm saying? Then when he came out, you don't got a call. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it is about that song around that time. Oh, straight menace after that. Straight menace. You know what I'm saying? So the power of music, how it could change your worldview and your energy. So shout out to Usher for that too. Shout out to Bayer in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s in the chat. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. The best way to pivot our economy in 2026. Best way to pivot our economy in 2026. Number one, double down on ballot power. Number two, independent pressure strategy. Number three, private ownership. Number four, federal policy defense. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, the best way to pivot our economy in 2026. Number one, double down on ballot power. Number two, independent pressure strategy. Number three, private ownership. Number four, federal policy defense. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know. So in the chat, I'm already seeing private ownership in the chat. They going private ownership in the chat. The reason why these things matter. So number one was double down on ballot power. So basically that focus on like local policy, local legislative, that the quickest laws and the most effective laws really affect us locally. So if we focus on local politics, that will help your community directly. Independent pressure strategy is basically forcing either party to basically prove that, yo, if you want my vote, you gotta do something for me. So that's basically what independent pressure strategy is. Private ownership, again, building and focus on building your own community, ownership within the community, and not letting that dollar travel outside of that community. Federal policy defense is basically prioritizing like regressive laws that we already had prior to, and we double back and we get rid of those laws that we made to, move forward the civil status. So for me personally, I'm gonna say independent pressure strategy. Me personally, I'm very big on ownership. I speak on it all the time that if for our finances and from here on out, the biggest thing that we can do is build in ourselves, build our own communities financially. But it doesn't seem like they're going to actually give the people, especially small business owners, grants to grow the economy. So that's why I went with personally with independent pressure strategy. It's like, all right, well, if you want my vote, you got to give us something. You got to give our area this. You got to give our area that. You got to give people who are in my tax bracket this and people who are in this tax bracket that. So I think because they won't give us the funds to build our own communities, like we supposed to, and how we could build America within our own communities. That's why I chose personally independent pressure strategy. So in the chat, I'm seeing private ownership mainly in the chat, and there's nothing wrong with that because y'all know me about private ownership. So in the chat, I'm seeing private ownership. I went with number two, independent pressure strategy. The rest of the world at 37%, mind you, 98,000 people voted on this, went with independent pressure strategy. People want something for their vote, and they agree with me. And at the end of the day, again, y'all know how I feel. I'm more so on the private ownership because doing the actual research, that is the real key on taking our economy to the next level. Is if our country build into small business owners, because we could take care of the economy locally and locally and nationally. Because when our local businesses do well, we grow in business. So, but because they not doing that, that's why I went with that one. So, shout out to the chat though. Three for me: private ownership, lower interest rates in 2026. That's my option. Give back. Shout out to Vic. Give back to people. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I mean, groceries is slowly going down. It's still high, but it's slowly going down. So the cost of living all in itself has to go down. The thing is, when they bump pay in this country, they bump up the cost of living. They actually bump up the cost of living first before they bump the pay up. And it should be in reverse, man. Like, damn, like how much more do y'all want for this house? Like at one point in time, the same houses that people bought in space and size was literally like $7,000, $7,500. Now that same house is worth 300 or 325,000. It's like, yo, how much money do y'all want for this? Like, the economy booms and grows so much more if they don't go up in the cost of living. If we actually build within our own country, that's what makes things cheaper when we build our own. So, all right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Shout out to Phantom in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Rowan Jack, oppress me all you want as long as we pew pew rights gets better. Hey, hey, man, and it's crazy. That stuff is really state to state because how we treat gun laws in New York City compared to Florida, Atlanta, California, um, I mean Seattle. I mean it's just different everywhere. Texas, it's spooky hours everywhere. So I don't know if we'll benefit from a worldwide gun law. I don't know if that would be beneficial either. I state that every state got their own set of issues and benefits. So I think it's each state provides a different lifestyle that should allow certain lacks in laws on certain things. Me personally, shout out to Kappa in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes. Hit the 100, Joe. What it do? Appreciate you for tapping in, my dude or lady. I don't know. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Y'all know I came up with this segment because I feel like I got great ideas for movies or movie series. So tonight is no different. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I would love to see a movie based on a comedy where you have a man that's falling out. I won't say has a falling out with his family. We live in a culture today where there's a lot of non-contact with our relatives. So I want to see a movie based on that, but I want to see it as a comedy where you have like a successful real estate agent. He goes non-contact with his chaotic family, but the family tries to ambush him on Thanksgiving. He only has like a chosen few of family members to come, but everybody out the woodworks is coming. So in order to turn them around, he basically set up high tech ambush without without it being like not like non-lethal traps. So they wouldn't get in his house, and in turn The focus on the movie is basically the joy of not really having your family, but understanding the importance of actually reconnecting with your family. So I would love to see a movie based on that premise. The actors, the principal actors I would have for this movie would be Donald Glover, Damson Idris, Dion Cole, Megan Good, Corey Holcomb, King Bosch, and Zasa Beats. That would be my principal actors for this movie. And I also would go with the director, Ryan Coogler, for this movie. So I got Ryan Coogler directing. This is rated R. It's a comedy. Again, my actors is Donald Glover, uh, Damson Idris, Dion Cole, Megan Good, Corey Holcomb, King Bosch, and Zaza Beats for this movie. I think this will be absolutely fire, funny, and people will go crazy on this. I think this will be absolute fire. And I got like a little script for this too. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this money on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog growing Jack. So Elon Musk. Basically, it's basically about Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? I think Elon Musk really do have his house like that. Just booby traps. Nothing to kill you with, but just no booby traps so his family won't get in his house. You know what I'm saying? Uh, can Cheeseburger Eddie be an uncle? No, 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 no. We can't have Terry Crews in this one. We can't have him in this one. Nah. Well, this will still be a fire movie though. This will still be a fire movie. Ashley, that's fire. Yeah, this will be a fire movie. I think people would love to see this, and it will be funny. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next one, our must see segment. I'm gonna give y'all 3 must see movies to tune and tap into. It's Wednesday night. Got the rest of the week. Watch them. Come back on Sunday. Let me know how y'all feel about the movies. All right, first must see movie is actually a movie series. Came out in 1990, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. This movie stars Tim Curry, Seth Green, Tony Decatur, Brandon Crane, John Ritter, Emily Perkins, Richard Thomas, and Tim Reed. This movie is called It. Fire must-see movie, OG It movie, y'all. Tim Curry is in this movie cooking. A lot of people have never seen the original It. I just know the new Welcome to Derry and then the new version of the It chapter 1s and 2s. Y'all gotta watch old school It. You know what I'm saying? He was cooking, and he's still the best It to me personally. But even though the new guy is doing a hell of a job, but y'all must tap into this movie if you haven't seen it already. Second must-see movie came out in 1980. This movie is directed by Stanley Kubrick. This movie stars Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Danny Lloyd, and Scatman Crothers. This movie is called The Shining. Fire must-see movie. Believe it or not, The Shining and It is in the same universe. It's in the same universe. The story exists, one and the same. And reason being, the movie is about a family going to a Colorado lodge to look, to basically house sit. But instead of house sitting, they're hotel sitting, the whole hotel for a long period of time. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for you. Third and final must-see movie came out in 1994. That's a great year for movies, might I add. This movie was directed by Russell McCulley. This stars Alec Baldwin, John Lane, Penelope Ann Miller, Peter Boyle, Tim Curry, and Max Wright. This movie is called The Shadow. Fire must-see movie about a young crime boss who ends up turning having a new lease on life. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. It's a fire must-see movie. Again, it's called The Shadow. So my 3 must-see movies. Number 1, It, the original from 1990. Number 2, The Shining. Number 3, The Shadow. Make sure y'all tap into those 3 movies. Come back, let me know what y'all think about the movies, and we have a good time talking about it. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Our profile artist, I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. Each and every episode, whether it's new or old, hip hop and R&B, I'm gonna give y'all some of that heat. So my profile artist for tonight is R&B legend Keith Sweat. Fire artist, got a slew of hits. Put these three songs on your playlist by Keith Sweat. Number one, Get Up On It, featuring Cut Close. Number two, Something Just Ain't Right. Number three, Twisted. Put those three songs on your playlist. These are fire, must-have songs. We spoke about earlier about the 80s singers that was popping back then. Keith Sweat was one of them. He was top tier. So again, and he's still a legend. So again, put these three songs on your playlist by Keith Sweat. Again, Get Up On It featuring Cut Close. Something Just Ain't Right. And number three, Twisted. Put those three songs on your playlist by Keith Sweat. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Our next episode. Our next segment. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Y'all know the rules of it. When people do and say stupid ass shit, we either send them to Turkey or we don't. Type in T to send them to Turkey. Type in N not to send them to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. All right, y'all. First one. 50 Cent's baby mother, Shaquia, came out and claims that 50 Cent wasn't shot 9 times. He was shot 5 times. He exaggerated the story to gain greater respect and have a bigger symbolism in hip hop. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending her to Turkey for saying that, or are we not sending her to Turkey for saying that? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know. I'm gonna give y'all a second to let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Damn, my body, that water. Me personally, I don't know if you ever been shot before or known somebody that got shot before. That's not pleasant. Whether he got shot 5 or 9 times, real talk, it doesn't matter. It really don't. When you get shot 1 time and survive, that's a gift from God. You got shot multiple times, whether it's 5 or 9, it doesn't matter. And why would you even bring that out right now? Why? It won't change his place in hip hop. It won't change the way people look at him. His space and place in the history books and hip hop alone, it can't be shook. 50 Cent is a legend. Period, point blank. Whether he got shot 5 or 9 times. So why do we even need this? Because it doesn't change anything at all. Honestly, I feel like she's bringing this out because she's looking for attention because he has attention. This sounds like somebody that wants the spotlight, haven't had the spotlight for being his woman in a long, long time. And she's just trying to find her way to get some sort of shine. But it's always funny to me when you're no longer with somebody, you have to bad talk them for people to even hear you. When's the last time we heard her say something positive that people heard? So the fact that she's coming out saying something negative about a man that hasn't been with her in a long time, and we see how the relationship played out with her son and 50 Cent, or their son and 50 Cent. They've been estranged for a while now. Again, saying something negative for people to even care. So why even bring this out? You just look crazy, and it gives off like a wild, bitter energy, in my opinion. The chat, I'm saying y'all sending her to Turkey all day. Exit wounds. count as two. Paul T, y'all sending her the Turkey one-way ticket to Turkey. I'm coming over there and show you a good time. Uh, exactly. He survived. Blessing. That's a fact. Bitter isn't a good look on her. Girl, bye. 5 bullets still hurt. That's a fact. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like that don't make any sense. Whether it's 5 bullets or 9 bullets. If you get shot one time and survive, like you survive, that's a blessing. And getting shot hurts. You get shot multiple times, it's like, yo, like, what did I do to you, bro? Like, like, what's going on? Like, yo, like the comedian Pierre. I don't know if you ever heard of Pierre. He used to be a comedy hype. I used to be a big fan of Pierre's stand-up comedies, and he would tell this joke that actually happened. He said he really was shot before at McDonald's. And he said the guy shot him like in the leg and he's running, and then he shot him in the hand, and the guy is still coming. But mind you, he's at McDonald's. He like, yo, why you just shooting me? Like, it's all these people right here. Like, spread these bullets out evenly, bro. Like, and I say that just to say, jokingly, that bullets hurt. Like, if you ever got shot with a pellet, them shits hurt. To get shot with a bullet, so it don't make any sense. She need to go somewhere and sit all the way down. Send her the Turkey first class ticket. I'm agreeing with y'all in the chat. Bit did you die? Bit did you die? Like at the end of the day, he survived. He was there to take care of your kid, your child together. Because even though, based on what was said to the public, even though that there was a relationship strain, he still paid his child support, and you still made over $1 million in the child support to take care of your son. You should have nothing to say at this point in time. Like, yeah, exactly. He survived. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next send them the Turkey or nah. Shout out to Vay in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. He must have said something crazy because they got him up out of there. Poor, he showed proof and he got shot 9 times. So her 5 bullets claim don't make sense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I went with the tangent of, let's say he did get shot 5 times. Let's say for the fact he did, for argument's sake, he got shot 5 times. It still doesn't matter. It's multiple times. He still got shot. And he survived. You know what I'm saying? So it, like, so to argue 5 or 9 is, you know what I'm saying? That's like telling somebody that's like really strong and buff, like, yo, instead of doing 200 reps, you did 190. I'm still buff. I'm still brolic. I still did 190 reps. Like, what is you talking about? Like, so her statement would just sound crazy. Y'all laughing at me in the chat. Shout out to Dream in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Whoa, what's up? Appreciate you. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Teasy in the building, bro. We want to be like you, guy. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Again, that helps with the growth of the show. Also, we got the special episode January 31st, New Year's Eve episode, 26 gifted. We're going to go crazy on that episode. We're going to have the best of the year. We're going to have some super fun categories as well that night. So I'll make sure y'all tap in as well. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Rapper Bobby Shmurda gets jumped at his show by several men in the city of Minnesota. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending the crowd to Turkey for jumping Bobby Shmurda at his show? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Love from Nepal, bro. Appreciate that. We got Nepal in the building. Appreciate that. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Worldwide love. Appreciate that. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat, y'all. Are we sending the crowd to Turkey for basically some of the men jumping Bobby Shmurda at his show while performing. I seen the video clip. The video clip is viral. Yo, it's real sad, man. Like, some artists carry that type of energy where they shouldn't do live shows. One, they do a terrible show, and two, based on them doing a terrible show, they asking the crowd to do too much instead of just performing. I didn't see that particular part in the video. I just seen it to the part where it got real fast. So I don't know if he was doing a great job performing or if it was a situation where he was agitating the audience. Either way, somebody comes to your city to do a show. And especially, it's one of us. It's one of us. When I seen the guys that jumped and when I see the crowd, it's us in the crowd. It's the culture. Why is there so much discord in the culture? Why? Why can't people come and just perform? Why can't people just come and you appreciate them for being from a different area? Why can't you appreciate Bobby Shmurda for being a Brooklyn dude? I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised, proud of it. But I don't know, for me, when I travel to different places, I just get hit with a different type of energy, different type of love. And it's not saying anything in disparaging to Bobby Shmurda. It's just, I understand the use of the culture worldwide. I can go to Houston and understand that Houston, they have a different type of vibe, and we could appreciate both of our energies. Mind you, I'm in your city. I'm here to do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? When in Rome, you heard? So at the end of the day, when people come to your city to put on a show, like, damn, where's the love? Like, like on social media, I see like a lot of hate against New York, and to be honest with you, that shit is whack. It's whack. And it's tired. Every time I look up, you hear somebody from the South like, oh yeah, New York dudes is this, and New York is dudes. And they sound stupid. Because our cousins is from the South. Our cousins is from the South. Which is one of the dumbest things that some of the Southern dudes be talking about. Obviously not all of y'all, because a lot of the Southern dudes for real that have cousins from the North, that from the New York area, yo, they love us, yo. They love us. Yo, that's my cousin from New York. Yo, wait till you meet this dude. He's funny. Like, and it's love. So the dudes who like to separate everything and be like, New York this, New York that, like, yo, we one and the same. It's just a little different. You do it this way because you from this state or this part of the South, and we do it another way from this part of the North. But we one and the same. We cousins. It's just my mom's or my grandmother chose to move to New York City. Like what? And your grandmother chose to stay. Like, it's still love. Like, I don't understand the separation. So with Bobby Shmurda and himself performing in Minnesota, it's like, yo, I see us at the show. I see us. So I don't even understand how this even happened. But for Bobby Shmurda, yo, you need to travel better with your crew, because you was in the club by yourself. Dolo. And there's no reason why, if you're going to be moving a certain way, that you travel dolo. Just saying, we got to be smart about how we move. So I seen y'all kind of like half and half on sending the crowd to Turkey, which is cool. Where are you from, bro? Like I said, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Tizzy, Ide, Ghana, greetings. You, my bro. Shout out to Ghana in the building. I had an ex-girlfriend from Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Show me all types of love. You know what I'm saying? All types. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? I would say her name, but I don't want to gas her up. You know what I'm saying? Like she matter. Like, we had a good time when we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? And I could talk my mess, and then when I see her, you know what I'm saying, I'm still gonna talk, and she like that kind of energy, you know what I'm saying? She like when I talk like that. She in New York. New York women love aggressive guys and guys that can make them smile. If you know how to make a woman smile, and you kind of aggressive, and you got like, you know, and the woman's from New York, She loves that. You know what I'm saying? You in. Trust me. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. He's from New York, but lives in the great state of Florida. That's a fact. I'm in Florida now. I'm in Florida now. I'm in Florida now. But I'm born and raised Brooklyn, New York. But I'm in Florida now. Florida, I came out here. I did some shows out here. I was like, yeah, I'm moving out here, bro. Like, I'm moving the whole family out here, dog. It's beautiful out here, dogs. And that's how I ended up in Florida. That's a real live truth, how I ended up in Florida. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. You already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. This is my public announcement statement, y'all. Men, brothers, all across the world, be aware of your damn posture. Again, be aware of your damn posture, especially in public. I seen a viral video, and I've seen it in everyday life. This viral video was touching on a guy working in a workspace, and he had a tendency to touch his nuts in the workspace. Like, you know, keep his hands in his nuts while at work. Bro, what are you doing? That's kind of like low-key sexual assault, bro. Especially if you're working with women. What are you doing? Men, be aware of your damn posture in public. And he's not the only one. I've seen by and large in our culture that we're too comfortable in a public setting and space holding our nuts. And obviously I'm talking about men who are, I would say, 25 and younger. Because there's no real man that's worth his salt, that got something about himself, that's confident in who he is out in public grabbing their nuts anywhere. That's not a manly thing to do. That's not a man, like when people see a man, that's not man behavior. And the reason why that's important is because a lot of people doing it second nature, and nobody's ever called them on it. Like, I remember I had a boy, one of my homeboys one time. He was standing there holding his junk, and I was walking past him, and he was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" And it didn't even fathom that, like, bro, I walked up on you and your hands is in your pants. I'm not dappy. I looked at that dap like, he was like, "Yo, you want to, bro? You were just holding your junk. What are you doing?" "Oh, I didn't even realize it." Yeah, I see that. Ain't no dap. No dap today. No daps. No. And even though we make light of it in that moment, it brings to a bigger conversation a lot of men not understanding their posture and what they say about themselves just by doing that, just by standing a certain way, just by having a certain disposition about yourself. If you want people to take you serious, you have to be aware of your posture. So that's my public service announcement to the men regarding that statement. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Shout out to Maria in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Staying warm. Rowan Jack, you stupid. Staying warm. It's about the Barclays Center on Saturday night. Okay, do your thing, Maria. I'm gonna be rooting for you. She doing her thing with New Edition. And if y'all in Brooklyn, all my Brooklyn people, pull up to see New Edition, man. They're gonna be doing their thing, man. And you got Maria, background singer and dancer, holding it down. Don't forget to hit them likes, y'all. Hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Rowan Jack, you a stupid. You talking about staying warm. Nah, I don't care if you staying warm. Ain't no daps. Ain't no daps. But it just, like I said, it's such a unmanly thing to do in a public space around other professionals. That's not a professional thing. At a certain age, especially as a man, you want to be considered a professional in anything that you do. You want to prove to people that you're a man, you don't have to say it. I'm a grown ass man. Not if you standing there with your hands touching your balls. Like, that's just not a manly thing to do. Shout out to Consword. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100. Pull up an RA on the stage. Paul, the Holden Junk situation is going to be a slow burn. We just now getting the young guys to stop having their pants down. They finally keeping them up. Hopefully it goes faster than I think it will. Pull up an RA, the rugged man on the stage. I need you to get a quarter zip. Ash, I got quarter zips. You know what I'm saying? I got quarter zips. You feel me? I got quarter zips. You heard? Every grown man has to have an array, a diverse palette of clothing. It's never just one thing. Me, I love jerseys. I'm a big jersey dude. But y'all see me rock the polo. I'm a polo guy. I love the polo. I love the Ralph Lauren. I just love the classic brand. But I switch it up from time to time. I will rock a suit on your ass. I will rock a suit. Or I will rock some sweatpants, sweatsuit. Feel me? You just might catch me in a whole jogging fit. Gotta be diverse. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be diverse. And I got some fire vests, like, you know, the 90s style vests, like how the dudes used to rock the turtleneck and the vest on top of that. I got some fire joints that I keep in the, you know what I'm saying, in the big cluck though, when I really want to step on them, you know what I mean? But that's neither here or there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a diverse selection of clothing, especially if you want to be considered a professional. And that's in any profession. Whether you're an artist, whether you're in other forms of entertainment, a businessman, all men has to have a diverse selection of clothing. But it starts with your posture, because the clothes don't make the man make the clothes. And that's a straight fact. Cardigans, cardigans is, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of cheat coded when I wear cardigans, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it to brag, I'm just saying. Just saying. Go all the way back to potato sack and screw and scarecrow clothes. Yeah, I don't know all about that. All I'm just saying, just be fly like how you be fly, and there's nothing wrong with switching it up. I love denim. I love to rock the denims as well. Ain't nothing wrong with switching it up. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Especially your posture, yo. It doesn't look good. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. The New York Knicks win the NBA Cup. Yay! Not a Knicks fan, but yay! Shout out to the Knicks. They won the NBA Cup. Not the NBA Finals, of course. The NBA Cup, the in season cup, and they beat the who they beat? San Antonio. They beat the San Antonio Spurs. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Shout out to the Knicks. They played well enough to win. They did that big time, and shout out to them, man. But will they win the finals though? It seemed like every team that wins the cup don't touch no parts of that finals. Is the cup good for the NBA? It is, but to make it seem like they won the finals, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? You seen Karl Anthony Towns. You see his pops like, yo, where my T-shirt at? Like yo, and they gave him the T-shirt, but it's like, yo, T-shirts is for the championship, like the real finals. You know what I'm saying? It's an accomplishment, but it's like it's not the finals. You know what I'm saying? So I think the New York Knicks is a bit too hype on the cup and not worrying about the finals. So we will see. It's a long season. Even though I'm not a Knicks fan, I am rooting for them. I am, because I have never seen the Knicks ever win the finals. Never. I've seen them play in a couple, but never win in the finals. But I say this to all my Knicks fans. I still feel like Brooklyn, we're going to win the finals before y'all do. And mind you, we are rebuilding right now. We're rebuilding right now, and y'all team is so close to actually like really being able to play in the finals, because y'all got the talent to do it. Y'all got a really good team. Um, can Mike Brown lead y'all to the finals? Can he do that? Thibodeau has a system, but his system ran players into the dirt, and he didn't utilize his bench. So we're gonna see, man. I'm actually rooting for the Knicks, even though I can't stand Knicks fans. But I'm actually rooting for the Knicks to win the finals, because this is their time. If they don't win this year, they're never gonna win. They're never gonna win. They're never gonna win. So as the Knicks was celebrating the cup, they did catch Knicks guard Josh Hart slipping. They caught him slipping. As they holding up the trophy, everybody celebrating. They caught on camera that Josh Hart standing behind Jalen Brunson and pinched his butt. Like, I don't know what part of the celebration is that, but that's just weird. Um, bro, like, y'all just won the NBA Cup. There's cameras everywhere, dog. Like, what? You thought you was just gonna pinch his butt and ain't nobody was gonna recognize it? And then, mind you, Jalen Brunson was like turned around, like, "Yo, what the hell is wrong with you?" Like, and everybody thought it was funny, but he didn't think it was funny, not one bit. So it's like, yo, y'all trying to focus on the championship, right? If y'all trying to focus on the championship, y'all don't got time to be horse playing. Like, that's just weird. So, shout out to Rowan Jack. He said a good game slap. Now, it wasn't a slap. It wasn't like, yo, good job, bro. Like, it wasn't one of those. Like, he really pinched his cheeks. Like, it's like, yo, like, I know it's a celebratory moment, but you got the wrong person for that. Like, it's just a weird thing to do. I've never been that excited, and I won championships. Obviously, not the NBA, cup or whatever. Pause. But I won some championships in my life, whether it's football or basketball. I ain't never been excited to the point where I want to pinch another dude's cheeks. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's a weird thing to do. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Shout out to Rowan Jack. He broke the story live on Sunday's episode about legendary director Bob Brenner. Him and his wife was unalived, and they were stabbed. Come to find out, the leading suspect in their murder or unaliving is their own son, Nick Renner. He stands accused of unaliving both parents, stabbing them multiple times. He is up for first-degree murder, and if convicted, the possibility of life in prison with no parole or death penalty, both is on the table. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And again, shout out to Rowan Jack, because when we was on live, he was like, yo, Bob Renner and his wife was found unalive. So upon research and the police investigation, again, all fingers is pointing towards their son as of right now, as he stands accused of this crime. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. He's an older man at this particular point in time, and it's very sad that we live in a day in a space. And even though I spoke about it earlier about movies that I would like to see, and the movie in itself was about families dealing with non-contact, right? But I was like, yo, let's make it a comedy, and let's find the family having a bridge to getting back together to be family, right? When you have grown kids, it's such a heartbreaking thing where they think it's an option is to unalive their parents. Now, most people automatically will say, what did the parents do to make a child do that? What did they do? And I don't know, and you don't know. We all left to speculation. But just because kids do something to their parents doesn't mean their parents was a bad parent to them. I know certain kids that had the type of parents that most kids would dream to have. And I will call them also like run over parents. Like you ever I don't know about in the chat, but if y'all let me know if about let me know this in the chat. If y'all ever had a friend and the way they talk to their parents is just wild and disrespectful, and the parent, their response wouldn't match energy. It would be like they're a kid. It's like, no, this is what we're gonna do, and like they had a whole lot of patience and was just always like real cool. But some of those kids and some of the people that I know, they grew up to be good for nothings. They didn't do anything with their life. So you have those parents. Now my mom and my dad, they put belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? They was tough on your boy. You know what I'm saying? It was tough on old ass. You know what I'm saying? But it helped me prepare myself to be the man that I am today. And I feel like I'm, somewhat successful and accomplished, and I learned a lot, and I give a lot of wisdom. I even have a grown daughter. My daughter's 22. Um, and not just that in itself, but as a parent, all you can do is do your very best. There's no book to parenting. There is a difference between what your attention is and what the child takes from that as a lesson. So I say that in the case of Bob Reiner and his wife there could have been a situation where he's holding his son foot to the fire because the son does have a history of doing drugs. And they was actually going on a journey together where Bob Reiner was actually learning more about his son's addiction and what he was going through based on a documentary that they was putting together. So there's a difference between intentions, with the parent intention, their intention to get in their son the help that they need, or lacking or being lackadaisical in child rearing, or doing too much child rearing. Is all you could do is your very best as a parent, and you do it based on child by child. So it's just unfortunate that their son thought it was an option. He is stand accused, but he is the prime suspect, being on the fact that, again, this is a millionaire producer. Not many people have access to him at his home with his wife in the middle of the night. So with that being said, I just think it's very unfortunate that he thought that was even an option. How much hurt was he going through where he didn't see his parents as an ally or allies, and seeing them as enemies, where he would even do that if said to be true of said crime. Shout out to the chat. Wow, just wow, damn grown kids. Shout out to Paul. Very sad. I actually just watched something on Hulu about his life earlier tonight. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Again, when somebody has an addiction, but you don't have to have an addiction, right? To have discourse with your parents. It's just a sad thing with most kids, and we've seen it by and large where it's that non-contact. I'd rather have non-contact, that no toxic energy. And I understand that, right? Where you have parents where you feel like y'all don't see eye to eye, but you still need a sense of community. There's healthy boundaries that could be learned to be established, but where is it ever okay or an option to unalive them? Feel me? Like, so it's unfortunate. The case is still ongoing, but he is the prime suspect. He is the prime suspect. based on the said case and evidence. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. The three-time undisputed champion Terrence Bud Crawford, the legend, the living icon. He's choosing to retire from boxing. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, the three-time undisputed champion Terrence Bud Crawford is choosing to retire from boxing. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. To me, this hurts, mainly because he's the people's champ. He's a terrific champion. He's always did his best, never cheated the sport of boxing, always put his best foot forward, always put on a great show. And he always did it like a champion. Whether he was the favorite or underdog, Terrence Bud Crawford always went out there and gave it his best. And he's one of the GOATs in this thing in boxing. And that's pound for pound, in my opinion. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, shout out to Bud Crawford. Thank you for being a professional. Thank you for doing what you was doing and giving your talent to the great sport of boxing, man. Shout out to Bud Crawford, man. I think Crawford is ducking Charlie. Charlie Z. You think nah. Charlie Z? Nah. No. 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 Nah. Shout out to Light for that. Shout out to Light Freeze for that. Light Free for that. Shout out to you. But you think he ducking? Nah, I don't think he ducking, bro. I don't think he ducking one bit, bro. It would be one thing if Bud Crawford haven't had the big fights and he just don't want to lose and, you know, and go out as a winner. Bud has had wars. He's had wars and flew through those with flying colors. So, ducking? Nah. Because you got to remember, ducking for real is a form of strategy for more money. He's not doing that. He doesn't need to duck nobody for no bread. He's the champ. People are going to tune in to watch the champ. So I don't agree, but I appreciate that. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Rowan Jack, do not fight Jake Paul. Yeah, I hope he don't come out of retirement to fight Jake Paul, because Jake Paul loves to find these guys who are really small and, you know, like, yo, I got 25 million for you, right? So it's like, how do you say no to 25 million? No, we going to miss Bud. Yeah, Bud is a big dog, man. Bud is a big dog. Pause. Like, he's such a great story for boxing. Like, he just does it in a very different way, man. So shout out to Bud Crawford, man. Shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford, man. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Welcome to Dairy, season finale, episode 8. If you haven't seen Welcome to Dairy, season 1, it has been epic. It has been epic. Episode 8 just finished up, so that concluded the season for Welcome to Dairy. I remember when this was announced months ago. I would say like a year ago, we covered the story on this podcast where Welcome to Dairy was teaming up with HBO, or it was teaming up with HBO, and they had a Welcome to Dairy show based on it. And when I heard they was teaming up with HBO, I knew it was going to be fire. I knew it. HBO has a track record for doing great shows. They have a track record, and it goes back from the 90s. They have that track record where they do great shows. Now they get an established story and cult following like it, and turned it into Welcome to Dairy. This show, from episode 1 all the way to episode 8, this was top tier cinema. I literally felt like I got 4 movies in one. And each episode was always something different, a new set of problems, but you had to deal with it. So I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. I'm not going to do that. But it's a must see fire show. If you haven't even seen one episode yet, what are you waiting for? This is going to be the best show you've seen all year. This will be on the questionnaire for sure for the New Year's Eve show. This is definitely on a questionnaire. What was your favorite show this year? And Welcome to Dairy is going to be one of the multiple choice questions on there. It's such a fire show. The storyline was amazing. Uh, the acting was the acting was so superb, especially from those kids. Those kids was out there cooking. Fire show. The story was just chef's kiss, and the way they put it together with other movies, other shows was just amazing. So if you haven't seen Welcome to Dairy season 1 yet, go binge watch it because all 8 episodes is done, released, and they must see shows. Shout out to my dog Richie. You know what I'm saying? Richie held it down. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. Even though he was probably one of my favorite characters of Welcome to Dairy, but you know, he definitely had just one of those Michael Jordan moments in my opinion. So shout out to Richie for Welcome to Dairy, from the Welcome to Dairy series fire show. Make sure y'all tap into it. I haven't seen the newest episode. That's what my wife said, and that's what my wife and I shared. So y'all indulge on that series. Okay, so y'all getting good top tier episodes from week to week. I love that. And they made for great conversations. So I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Make sure y'all tune and tap into Welcome to Dairy, season 1 of the It franchise, Pennywise. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic, the NBA. Back to the NBA. They're talking about team expansion. The leading candidates or the leading cities for the lead expansion in 2026, as of next year, for the next year season. And this has been said by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The cities that they're looking at right now is Seattle and Las Vegas. Seattle, very smart move, especially if they're going to bring back the Seattle Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics is just one of those franchises that's just beloved. The area of Seattle, rabid fans about the Supersonics. Rabid fans, their colors, the energy of the city. They never should have moved to Oklahoma in the first place, but it is what it is. So I'm glad to hear that Seattle is one of the cities that they're talking about. And the next city, obviously, like I said, is Las Vegas. Las Vegas do deserve a team. That market, that city is deserving of a team, an NBA team. And I think that's absolutely lit for those two cities to get the team if it's carried out. So and the NBA needs this for real. The NBA needs this. The NBA has been kind of boring. Like, I don't know about y'all, but for me, the NBA has been kind of boring. It doesn't feel the same. And I said this last year. Everybody plays the same. Everybody comes down and shoot threes. Everybody comes down and try to get the pick and roll, shoot a three. It's never the same. Nobody plays inside the paint anymore. Nobody takes a guy from the 3-point line all the way to the rack to throw it on their life. Like, what happened to those guys that played in the paint or played for the deep field goals or play from the post? Whether you a guard or a center, there is no type of like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no there's no like styles in the NBA no more. Everybody plays the same way. Styles make fights, and they're gonna need this expansion to increase the interest of the NBA because it's boring. It's boring. Like the New York Knicks won the NBA Cup. Nobody cares. It's just boring. Like, so they got to do something because it's a boring product. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, Power 105 Breakfast Club is set to debut their new show on Netflix in 2026. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Big deal or not? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Power 105 Breakfast Club. Uh, they are set to debut on Netflix in 2026. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Um, yeah, for me personally, it's a big deal because it's Netflix. And the reason why it's a big deal because it's Netflix is that you're seeing Netflix really monopolizing the game. And they're doing it in every corner of entertainment. Of course, they started out with the movies, shows, documentaries. They ventured into sports. Now they venturing into radio culture. So they really putting a stranglehold on all of this shit. No matter what type of content that you have, they want it. They like, yo, if you're popping, or we feel like you popping, or this is like a little different, yo, we're gonna bring you onto the channel. Mind you, they brought in Pop the Balloon on Netflix. So they really trying to corner the market and become the new YouTube in some sort of sense. It's like like the gatekeeping version of YouTube, where they being selective on who they pick. And I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, they really trying to corner the market. The only thing that I'm worried about is what they said in the chat. Shout out to Ebony in the chat. Is people still watching The Breakfast Club? Because The Breakfast Club, as a New Yorker, it doesn't have the same feel as it did 15 years ago, to be honest with you. It doesn't have the same feel. But at the same time, as an artist, as a person of the culture, you still have to go through New York to promote your, your whatever. Whether it's a herbal tea album, you got a lot of former artists and actors that's into cooking now. Still have to go through New York to promote something. So I just find it interesting that they're doing this. They also, you said it in the chat, Rowan Jack. They also doing Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So Netflix is really trying to put a stranglehold on all of this shit. They not playing no games. I don't know who is in their acquisition segment of their channel of their company, but they're doing a hell of a job gaining programming that they think people are going to watch. So that's what makes it a big deal. They trying to corner the market. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. My picks is in for the NBA, and my pick 6 for the NFL is in for this week's week 15 in the NFL. All right, so the game that I called on Monday, because I actually had these picks for Sunday, and they was ready for Monday's game. So the first game I called in the NBA, my picks, Pistons versus the Celtics. I went with the Celtics. They lost 112 to 105. Next game I called was Raptors versus the Heat. I said the Raptors will win that game. They did, 106-96. Next game I called Mavs versus the Jazz. I said Mavericks will win that game. The Jazz won 140 to 133. Next game, Rockets versus the Nuggets. I said the Nuggets will win. They did, 128 to 125. And the last game I called was the Grizzlies versus the Clippers. I said the Grizzlies will win that game. They did, 121 to 103. So that's my picks for the NBA. And like I said, I'm going to have the new my picks for this Sunday at the NBA coming up week. For the NBA, my pick 6 for this week's NFL. First game I'm calling Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks, y'all. I'm going with the Seahawks. The Seahawks is a problem. The only question mark, you don't know which Sam Darnold you're going to get week to week. And that's a problem. But the team in itself is good enough to win without him having a big game. It's not required for him to throw 300 yards for them to win. So I'm going with Seattle to win this game against the Rams. Next game I'm calling, and the Rams is playing well, by the way. They're playing well, but I'm going with the Seahawks in this game. Next game I'm calling Bears versus the Packers. I'm going with the Packers in this game. Last week they lost Michael Parsons, so there's no reason why I should be going with the Bears in this game. The Bears, they're all right team. They're all right team. Their defense is what I would call like opportunistic. They get turnovers, but they're not great. You could move the ball in abundance against the Bears. So I'm going with the Packers. The Packers offense has been outstanding. Their defense have been holding up. I'm going with the Packers for this game, and they're used to bigger games. Next game I'm calling Cowboys versus the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers to win this game. Cowboys is so up and down. One week they look like this, and the other week they look like sugar. Next week they look like shit. I'm going with the Chargers to win this game. They've been a little bit more consistent. And I think Chargers are pretenders. I don't think they're contenders, but they're going to do good enough to win this game. Next game I'm calling the Broncos versus the Jaguars. I'm going with the Broncos, y'all. I'm going with the Broncos. The Broncos look good week to week, no matter who they're playing, and they do a great job in scheming against the other team's weaknesses, like how you're supposed to do. Believe it or not, a lot of teams don't do that in the NFL, but it's whatever. But I have the Broncos beating the Jaguars. Mind you, the Jaguars have been playing well, but the Broncos, man, this year's Bronco team feels different. I got the Broncos winning this game. Next game, I'm calling Steelers versus the Lions. This is going to be a good game. To be honest with you, the Steelers could win this game. Aaron Rodgers have been playing good. Defense been looking good. That receiver core, if y'all seen that move that Metcalf put on the defender last week, that was crazy work. But the Lions, bro, like they just so good. Pause. Golf doesn't have to play well for them to win. They got two backs and they do it very differently in their running styles, but they could take over the game. They got Jay Williams that can hit his head on the goalpost on any play. St. Brown, Amon St. Brown, Ross St. Brown, he's such the constant. He's so consistent as a route runner, as a catcher. He's going to get his. So I got the Lions beating the Steelers in this game. Next game we're calling Patriots versus the Ravens. I think the Ravens will play better than what they showed, but the Patriots is going to win this game. The Patriots just look head and shoulders better than a lot of teams this year. Ravens has a major setback this year, and I got the Patriots winning this game. So my pick 6 for the NFL Week 15, again, Seahawks over the Rams, Packers over the Bears, Chargers over the Cowboys, Lions over the Steelers, Broncos over the Jaguars, and Patriots over the Ravens. So that's my pick 6 for the NFL this week. Monday Night Raw. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Again, this is episode 221. It's a lot of episodes. So again, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in and showing major support. But my keep the lie alive for this episode is this. Don't let other people rewrite your history. It is very important. That's why it's a mantra of learning how to document. You see it here. These are words to live by. Inspire, create, and document. Don't let other people rewrite your story. Don't let them do that, because they will. And the reason why that's important is because the person that you end up becoming stems from childhood, stems from hard work, dedication, stems from learning how to be disciplined. I found this old paper, and the paper in itself has to be about 31 years old. 31 years old. exactly 31 years old. And the reason why I know this is because when I was 10 years old, this was a schedule of our football schedule. And I had made a post the other day. I said in 1994, I know where I was at because obviously it has the dates of the game, where the games was, the time. So I know where I was at in 1994, right? And the reason why that's important is because that year in particular, being around other men outside of my father that echoed the same things that my father did, it gave me a different type of discipline that allowed me to take chances in my life, good and bad, because you learn from the good and bad, and was able to elevate. You can't elevate without discipline. You can't elevate without learning the tools that you learned from when you was a kid and taking it into adulthood, and all the negative things or the toxic things, you learn how to let it go. But you can't let people rewrite your history. So when I post this, people was like, was that the year that this happened or that happened? I was like, no, this year that year we done went to the championship. We lost 6-0, da 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 da. And it was like, well, who won this and who won that? So I had to make, set the record straight. But the reason why that's important is because people try to rewrite your history. I was watching an Eddie Murphy documentary, and it was a funny documentary, might I add. And it was a part in the Eddie Murphy documentary where the guy, mind you, I don't think he even knew Eddie Murphy, but he made it up in his head to rewrite Eddie Murphy's history. So there's a scene in the movie Beverly Hills Cop, and Eddie Murphy's walking down the street, and there's a guy, or there's two guys walking past him, and they're dressed like Eddie Murphy in his stand-ups. If you ever seen Eddie Murphy's Raw or Delirious, see, they was more so dressed like in Delirious leather fit, right? And they walking past them, and Eddie Murphy just busts out laughing when they walk past each other. So the guy who's trying to retell Eddie's story, rewrite his story, he said, see, Eddie Murphy didn't take himself serious because in that movie, in that scene when the guy was wearing his stuff, he thought it was that funny that they still had that on. And Eddie Murphy was like, that's not the reason why I laughed, bro. Like, what is he talking about? He said, I laughed because I knew one of the guys who was in the scene. When they walked past each other, the guy made a funny face, and that's what made Eddie Murphy laugh. So it's very important not to let people rewrite your story from your hard work, from your dedication, how you build yourself up from a kid and build yourself up into being a success. And being a success is all different. Being a success doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire. Doesn't mean you have to have 15 cars. Doesn't mean you have to be able to vacation and send your children to the craziest colleges. Being successful is being able to take care of yourself first and foremost. Self-preservation matters first and foremost. Then your kids. And then the people around you. Some people say, no, you got to take care of your kids first. They didn't ask to be here. You didn't ask to be here neither. Without taking care of yourself first, you can't take care of your kids. Why do you think they tell you when you're on the plane, you have to secure yourself first, then your kids? Because you can't take care of your kids if you don't take care of yourself. So don't let others rewrite your history. That's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. Again, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in, rocking with me each and every Wednesday, each and every Sunday. Again, I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. This is the Cannon Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I want to thank the sponsors of the show, Button Snaps and OUV Records. OUV Records and Button Snaps. Make sure you tap into Button Snaps again when you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, link up with me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. And we have fun on Instagram as well. So make sure you tap in with me on Instagram. What else am I missing? We got the New Year's show coming up. That's gonna be super fire. The goal of that show is 26 gifted. It's the 26 years, so 26 gifted for that show. Also, the OUV Records app is being worked on, and for what I seen, it's fire. And I've been telling y'all that I got so much new music. I just don't want to go through the traditional way of releasing music anymore because Apple, Spotify, they don't look out for us as the artists. So this way, in having the OUV Records app, is going to give y'all a better listening experience. It's going to give y'all a better experience when you're streaming albums all together. So this is gonna absolutely be fire, and I seen pieces of it, and it's like I'm mad giddy. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for y'all to see that and when it comes out. So there's some new music on the way. Obviously, a new album on the way. Also, be on the lookout for my new comics and the animation that's being worked on as well. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that as well too. We just got a whole lot of positive things coming up soon. So again, y'all, don't be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out for doing and saying and being negative. Stand out for being positive. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. And as always, from me to you, make sure y'all tune in and tap in each and every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30. Tap into the video portion of the page. Got over 550 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. Yeah, yes, whole bunch of shorts. So make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, that share button, hit the hearts and them hundreds on your way out. And y'all already know it's love. And I'll see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. I'm out.